Today I'm going to be speaking on keeping your word. There was a man on the English Olympic running team who had made a commitment that he was not going to run on Sundays. This man's name was Eric Liddell, and when time came for the Olympic Games in 1924, he found out that the 100-meter dash, which he was participating in, was going to be held on Sundays. As soon as he found this out, he went and immediately informed his coach that he would not be able to participate. Everybody was shocked. They were like, man, this guy is one of the best 100-meter runners in the world, and he's not going to participate in the Olympic Games. His teammates, his coach, even the Prince of Wales tried to get him to run, but he wouldn't. When word got out to the British Olympic Council in late 1923, they sent an appeal to the International Olympic Committee, requesting that athletes who objected to running on or participating in any event on Sundays should be allowed to have their event rescheduled. Now, the committee sent a reply dated January 22nd, 1924, stating that they were not willing at this time to ask the host country or another committee to make such changes to the schedule. Now, Eric Liddell, he didn't know if he might have just blown one of his only chances of winning a gold medal at the Olympics. He didn't know if he was going to be able to participate in the next Olympic Games or not. But what he did know is he was not willing to let what other people say about him dictate what he had made commitments and promises about, as we will see later on. Now today, society doesn't generally care much about their word. They'll make promises off the cuff and forget about them, or say things just to get people off their back. Forbes took a poll on February 13, 2013, asking 575 business people if it was okay to lie in business. Almost all of them said yes. They said if you're going to make that big connection with the job, or if you're going to get a promotion, that you should lie to boost your chances of success. That's not how it was in early America. They believed that their word was one of the most important assets that they had. They didn't have to have their name written down on a piece of paper for them to fulfill their commitments, or for somebody to be there that testify against them if they didn't keep their word. They knew that if they didn't fulfill their promises, that people would lose trust in them, that people would lose trust in their integrity, and most importantly, their word. Now, let's bring it to us. As 4-Hers, we make promises a lot. Every time that we go to our clubs and say the 4-H pledge, I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalties, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living. Do we say that with sincerity, or do we just say it going through the motions? I found this resource off of the Michigan State Extension Program, and it said when we pledge our head to clear thinking, we are saying we're going to dispel all thoughts that would hinder us as a member in today's society. When we pledge our heart to greater loyalties, we're going to be thinking more about other people than we think of ourselves. When we pledge our hands to larger service, we are saying we're going to give the world as much as a member can. And lastly, when we pledge our health to better living, we're saying that we're going to live as good and as healthy as we can. That way we can fulfill all the other commitments and promises that we might have to make. Just think about it. What would happen if even half of the 4-H, all the 4-Hers, would keep that promise in our day-to-day lives? We would change the world in our communities around us and make this world so much a better place. Going back to Eric Liddell, when he decided to run in the 400-meter race instead of the 100-meter dash, he didn't know if he was going to win. Almost everyone else doubted it too. They were thinking, man, this guy has had hardly any practice. He's a short distance runner. All the other competitors are going to blow him away. But when Eric Liddell got to that starting line, he had determined within his heart that no matter the consequences, no matter what happened around him, he was going to run as hard and as fast as he possibly could. And when the gun went off, that's exactly what he did. He outraced all his competitors, shattering the world record with a time of 47.6 seconds. The crowd went crazy. His wife would later say to me, Eric always said that the greatest time for him was when he stood by his principles and he didn't run in the 100 meter. That he found out that the 400 was really his race. He would never have known that otherwise. He would never have dreamed of trying it, especially not at the Olympics. Now, today I want to issue a challenge for all of us. That when we make promises and commitments, that we would stand behind them with unwavering principles and loyalty like Eric